Hey guys, what's happening? This is week 1, day 3, the power of consistency and the power of staying consistent. And the reason why I think today is the perfect day to talk about consistency is for you to set yourself up for when things get hard. Because right now you've been through the pre-training, you're going to blast off on day 1, on day 2 you started the habit of reading. And so we're going to do that every single day. And this day is about staying consistent with it. Because let me tell you something, it's not always going to be this easy. It's going to get hard. There's going to be challenges that come up that you didn't expect to come up, and this is there for you to make a decision now. What are you going to do when the hard times happen? Because yes, you set a habit, but it's when it's not perfect, when you don't feel like it, what you're going to do. But when something mucks up, when an emergency happens in your day, what are you going to do with this? How are you going to cope with all these new stresses that happen in your life later down the line? Because you've got 30 days of this, and let me tell you, you've got 30 days of doing this habit of reading so you can finish a book. And something's going to come up within those 30 days that you will not expect. But it's what you do when that thing comes up that matters. And this is just about making the decision for when things get hard, when you just don't feel like picking up that book and reading it for half an hour. It's when you feel like that, you learn what to do. And we're going to talk about a few things on how you can stay consistent. And basically, how I like to think of it, consistency, is like what's something called compounding interest. Compounding interest is like a thing that you use with money. Compounding interest is when you put, basically, for example, now bear with me, I don't know the numbers here, but if you were to double something 30 times, double 1p 30 times, you end up with a massive number. I think it's in the millions over time. Because think about this, if you make a 1% difference now with where you are, well, 1% difference where you are, okay, you're not going in this direction, you're going in a slightly different direction of reading half an hour a day. 1% difference, 1% difference, 1% difference, 1% difference, 1% difference. And a year from now, 365 days later, you wouldn't be 365% different, you'd be thousands of percent different, because they build on and on each other. Because, for example, now this is quite hard trying to language it in a way that would make sense for me. For example, a 1% of 100 pounds is £1. If you get 1% of £100 is £1. And then what's 100%? What's 1% of £101? Well, that's £1 and 1p. £1, 1p. Okay, what's 100% of that? Okay, that is a terrible mess, but now you've got 102 pounds and a p. That means you get sorry maths, but basically that would compound. Every single day there'll be more and more difference, and before long, within a year of doing this habit of reading, I promise you can look back thinking, wow, that's a completely different life. Because think about how many books that you've read that you've never ever had the chance to read before. It's going to be truly amazing. And this video isn't for me to talk to you for long, to teach you something new right now. It's just for you to commit to yourself to make a decision saying, when things get hard, when this happens at school, this happens at work, this happens at home, this happens with family, I'm still going to stay consistent. Or guess what? When I miss a day, that's not the end of the world. When I miss a day, it's not the end of the world. It's not about when I miss a day, oh, I failed. It's about getting on the horse the next day and keep on going. Because guess what with me? I miss days. I do miss days. This weekend hasn't been the most productive for me. I miss days. And I'm not happy with it. And sometimes I can, not live to the standard I want to live at. But guess what? I don't let that stop me. I don't say, oh, I've given up. I could bin this thing. I'm not good at this lecture no more because I skipped a couple of days. No, I just get back on the horse and keep on going. And that's what you have to do. There's a saying that Tony Robbins says. And basically there's a story about, I think in World War II or World War I, can't remember. there was this captain, I think it's, let's say for example World War II, so it is a real story, I just can't find the detail of it. You might know it, but let's make it up. Say for example there's a English general or whatever wanted to take this German base, this German army. There's like the little island that was occupied by German people, and that was quite a few German people there. And then this England little troops came and they landed on the island, and they said, you must take the island. And yet they had 1/3 of the amount of men, 1/3 of the amount of firepower. How the hell are they going to take the island with 1/3 the amount of people? But you know what the general done? He said to everyone, to all his troops, burn the boats. And the troopers looked at him like, are you insane? Burn the boats, that's our only way of getting back. And the general says, look, our order is to take this island. It's incredibly important. If you don't take this island, other people are going to die. And if you don't take this island, we're not going to move forward in this war. So the only way for us to commit to us that we're going to take this island is to burn the boats. And you know what? The people burnt the boats and they took the island. Why? They had no choice. Either take the island or die. Burn the boats. Don't make there no escape, no way back. And I need you to make this decision in yourself to burn the boats. Don't make a decision to saying, oh, I can go back. Oh, I can go back to not being a reader anymore. I can go back to living my same old life of having these difficulties. Don't do that. Burn the boat saying, okay, this is my new identity. This is what I'm going forward to. This is my journey. And yes, I may fall off the boat sometimes. Yes, I miss a day. Yes, it may not feel good. Yes, you mean things will come up that's unexpected. Yes, I might feel these emotions. Yes, people might laugh at me because I'm reading or judge me differently. But listen, I need you to burn the boats. Emotionally, it's thinking, okay, I don't care what it takes. This is my new identity. I am a reader. And then moving forward. So I want to just have this little message in there because I know you've got to do the reading and really get this habit tied down, because I don't want to talk to you for ages without you being able to actually execute on this habit. So all I want you to do today is obviously do your habit of reading for like half an hour, however long you decided to do it for. And then mentally thinking, write down when the negative situation happens of something happening, either not feeling like doing it, something happened in life that's completely unexpected of this or illness or whatever. What will you do? How will you cope? And what will happen when you miss a day, or if you miss a day? How will you act? Will it be the end? Or will it just be, okay, let's get it tomorrow, let's do it even harder tomorrow, or whatever. I want you to write down this scenario, because guess what? If you don't write down the scenario, if you don't decide in advance how you're going to act when these situations present itself, who knows how you're going to act? If you only focus on things being perfect and never focus on them being like a little bit unperfect, then when things aren't perfect, you don't know how you'll react. But if you decide, okay, when things don't go to plan, when things get hard, when things get ugly, this is what I'm going to do. And guess what? When things do get ugly, you know how you should react. And you're going to live into that person. So write that down now. When it's not perfect and when you miss a day, how will you act? And it's just about getting on the horse and keep on moving. And you can language it whatever way you want to language it, but it's about staying consistent. The power of compounding effect, doing it again and again and again and again. And that's one of the keys of being successful and mastering something, is doing it over and over again. And especially when it's boring. Overcoming the feeling of feeling bored. Just because you're bored, just because you're tired, just because that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Here's the best thing like with motivation. Action makes motivation. You're not motivated and you act and then you're motivated. I wasn't motivated to make this video. I had chocolate cake before I made this and I don't feel good at all because of the sugar rush and all this sort of stuff, and that's bad habits on my part, but it's a Sunday or whatever. So right now, today. So what I'm saying now is you have to start. Act first and then you feel motivated. That's one key. Act first and then you feel motivated. And that's one key for staying consistency. When I work out, a lot of times I don't want to work out, but I do it anyway, because once I start set in motion of doing it, I feel like doing it, okay? Right then, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be changing your identity and the power behind it and the more the details behind it. And I want us to look forward for tomorrow and staying consistent today.